The Audi RS3 might be one of my favorite cars that I've driven in recent memory. This isn't it. This is the Audi S3, and this lands between the RS3 and the A3. Now, they have made some changes to this vehicle, saying that they're making it more fun, they're giving it more of a performance bent, making it closer to the RS3, but I'm about to find out if that's true.
Let's get the new things on the exterior and interior out of the way first. The S3 gets some new laser-etched badging on the B-pillar, new front and rear LED light designs, those are nice, and they have a different signature sequence, which at first I didn't think was necessary, but now I think it's kind of cool.
So the front grille gets a little bit wider, a little bit flatter. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it always did look pretty cool. There's some things on the back too. So there's this black apron that comes above the splitter, and you can see that it houses the quad exhaust back here, making it look just a little bit sportier, like its RS3 brethren. Also, the stance on the S3 is about 15 millimeters lower than on the A3. You guys, I really love the way that this vehicle looks. To me, this is a little bit of a sleeper, and anytime you can have kind of a normal sedate-looking sedan with a little bit more power in it, you're always in for a good time.
Inside, it gets a few more upgrades, including a new shifter, and air vent designs, and some new ambient lighting extras in the center console, doors, and footwells, presumptively for both fashion and function. You'll also get some rather nominal upgrades to the App Store and MMI system, which is perfectly good as is.
So the thing I like about the interior, I think the most, is they've redone these seats a little bit. There's some extra bolstering, especially in the sides here. It's really nice. Lateral movement keeps you kind of in a little bit more, especially when you're going around turns. This is a smaller sedan, so that might lead you to wonder, well, what's it like in the second row? Listen, behind me, someone who's a little bit more of a diminutive driver. I'm 5'4". I have plenty of room back here. Headroom, you're kind of pushing it a little bit, but legroom is completely fine. If you do have a taller person in the front passenger seat, then you might run into some trouble. But for a smaller person back here, it's actually very comfortable.
Okay, now that's out of the way, let's get to the good stuff.
The S3 gets a 22 horsepower bump in its 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. The torque number stays the same at 295, unless of course you live in Europe and you can throw 93 octane gas in it. This lady's gonna be fun the whole time. But if you can do that, then you can get up to 310. Now, to compare that with the A3, you are looking at 201 horsepower, so that's a fairly significant jump. So when it comes to actually feeling that power, and do I? The answer is a resounding hell yeah. Woo! Even with its extra gusto, this is not that absolute Prince Charming of the 2.5-liter 5-cylinder that is on the RS3. That thing absolutely sets my heart on fire. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it drives, everything. But with the adjustments that they've made on this 4-cylinder engine, I am really feeling a difference in the boost, in the power, the way the throttle responds. It's definitely more exciting to drive. I think it's making its best imitation of the RS3 that anybody could possibly expect.
Dynamically here, there are some additions to help you with lateral stiffness and handling. The torque splitter on the rear axle is the same one that's on the RS3, it's just tuned differently because of the two different engines. And it shifts grip to where you really need it on those back two wheels. The new swivel bearing suspension helps you out in the stability department as well. Of course, the S3 gets Quattro, Audi's all-wheel drive system, which serves to glue you down to the tarmac even more.
So now you do get a dynamic plus mode here, and what that does is it really kind of messes with a lot of the settings, giving you way more of a playful driving experience. So the torque splitter works more closely biasing that rear axle, and you get up to 50% of the torque back on those back two wheels, and then shifting to the right and the left depending on where you need that grip the most. It also engages a hard rev limiter, so if you're using your paddle shifters. You can hit the rev limit and it will not shift automatically for you, which is fantastic. You also, at idle, are revving at 1300 RPM instead of 1100 RPM, so you are off the line a little bit quicker, helping that 0 to 60 time. I think that's a nifty little trick. All these little things are going to make you just feel like you're having this fun, explosive, very spirited driving experience. Oh, and did I tell you that it also messes with your stability control? So it's going to give you a little bit more in the oversteer department, letting you have even more fun losing the back end a little bit. But be careful. I'm always curious about whether the drive modes feel distinct on these kinds of cars, and with the S3, I can say unequivocally yes. When I throw it into comfort mode, I definitely feel everything relax just a little bit. It feels like it's something that would be really nice for a daily commute, but let me tell you, you ratchet this thing up even just in dynamic, and everything kind of tightens up. Everything feels a little more taut and engaged and aggressive, and then of course, Dynamic Plus just rules the school.
In dynamic mode, the 7-speed transmission gets in on the fun too, with snappier shifts making 0 to 60 times even quicker. You are limited to a top speed of 155 miles an hour, however.
The S3 comes standard with 18-inch wheels, but you can get this S-specific 19-inch wheel, which has this sort of S pattern on it, and I think it's actually really cool. On the 19, you do get a 235 tire on it, a little bit wider than the 225, giving you just a little bit more grip and not much more stability.
If you're thinking about a competitor, then my best guess at an equivalent would be the BMW M235 xDrive Grand Coupe or the Mercedes-Benz CLA 35 4MATIC. Also, the Acura Integra Type S would do nicely. But each one of those is more expensive and has a slower 0 to 60 time. If you are interested in what the S3's bump in power does to fuel economy numbers, well, the answer is not much. You literally only take a 1 mpg hit on the highway.
And that's exactly the same with the starting price.
For the 2025 base price, you're looking at $49,995, which is only $1,300 more than you would have spent last year. I would love to compare that to the RS3 with that dreamsicle of a 5-cylinder engine, but we don't have pricing on that one yet.
What I do know on pricing is we're probably going to be looking at, I would say, mid-60s starting price. So the $13,000 to $15,000 that you're saving by buying the S, are you getting enough? I'm kind of feeling like with the improvements that they've made here, the S3 is really gonna give you a lot for your money.
There are 3 trim levels: the base premium, the mid-tier premium plus, and the top-of-the-line prestige. Even if you climb to the top of the trim ladder, I'm guessing you're still at least about $10,000 away from the base RS3. That is a lot of coin. And unless you need a fancy stereo system or head-up display, the Premium Plus on the S3 might be everything your heart desires, including extra driver safety features like lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control, and tech stuff like wireless charging.
If you're ready to buy an Audi A3, no matter whether it's the A, the S, or the RS, click on the link above. Kelley Blue Book can help you find a fair purchase price on any of them.
If you're not ready to pull the trigger and you want more info, you can watch my video on the RS3. There's a link here. And if you want to hear a more comprehensive comparison between the A3 and the S3, then head over to AutoTrader and check out Jeff Glucker's video that dives into it. As for my thoughts between the S3 and the RS3, I would not say that this is a watered-down version of the RS3 at all, because it really does shine in its own ways. It is a complete package that feels great on the road and at the same time won't break the bank.
Look, if money were no object, I would say 100% jump in the RS3. But if you are on a little bit of a budget, you're still looking for a sports sedan that's going to be a lot of fun to drive, albeit a little less expensive, then I think the S3 is a fantastic choice. Put it at the top of your list.